これは男で作られたの動画です。女のためにです。Can you stop scaring the はい。まだ習ってるんだ。Flying in. Hi there, I'm Remo Osai and I really enjoy making YouTube videos. It's the perfect escape from my otherwise boring life. I make videos that cut across various topics and I try to promote them the best I can on public spaces. But my channel has a bit of a gender imbalance. I made a bit of progress this year, but this had me wondering why the sizes were so different. Am I just not attractive? It can't be that. My grandma tells me I'm very handsome. So I set out to find out why my audience didn't look so inclusive and possibly learn how to make a video for girls. But first, it's important that we understand what has defined girls' entertainment over the years, and who better to ask than the target audience themselves. What do you think makes a piece of entertainment for girls? Let's use video games as an example.
To be fair, I honestly think that majority of video games are not specifically made for a certain gender. I honestly think women are adventurous, and if there were to be a specific game made for girls, it should be centered on adventure, fashion, and of course beauty.
What do I think makes a video game labeled for girls? Honestly, the first thing that came to my head was the video game just being pinkish. You know, it's about fashion, it's about dress up. I would call them like soft games, kind of. You know, planting things, growing things, just taking care of things basically. Generally, I don't play games, I don't play video games on a good day, but if I was to play games, I think I prefer like all the action shooting games to the games that are labeled for girls, and I think I also feel like general games as well.
I prefer playing the video games generally made for everyone, because I don't think I would enjoy the video games made for girls. That's all the makeup stuff, Candy Crush. It's not my thing.
Using video games made specifically for girls as a reference, something I came to notice was that a lot of them tended to recycle the same game elements or just be about the same thing. The most popular of which being dress up or makeover games, horse riding or pony games, and simulators like Farm Simulator or The Sims. Which is a stark contrast to my experience with video games. As a boy, pretty much everything on the video game market is up for grabs, except for the stuff that's for girls. And this means that growing up, I got to play a wide array of titles that cut across various topics and employed the use of different game mechanics. And this made me wonder why the video games made for girls, on the other hand, were so confined and similar in nature. This also made me wonder why pieces of media were labeled for boys or for girls in the first place. And if the horse riding mechanics in games like Red Dead Redemption or Six Guns weren't enough, then the character design elements of games like skins in Call of Duty or building a character in Lego Star Wars that clearly pass off as playing dress up is enough proof that boys are capable of enjoying content that has been deemed for girls. So then why is the label out there in the first place? And the more I thought about it, the less the labels look like things that served to satisfy, and the more they look like gatekeepers of interests. In essence, the labels imply that you had to identify as a specific gender to enjoy a piece of media. This served to perpetuate gender norms and stereotypes, like how girls don't enjoy the violence that's in the boys' games, but this also ended up convincing the public that your gender played a significant role in influencing your interests, thus creating a feeling of otherness between boys and girls, as one gender feels they will never be able to fully enjoy what the other gender is interested in, thus making us feel like we are sharing half of the planet with a whole other species that's so different from us, when in reality that's just not the case. Boys and girls can like the exact same thing, and for girls or for boys is a label that I believe should not even exist. What are you doing? I told you I'm innocent. Shush! You will pay for your crimes against gender equality. Crimes against gender? What are you talking about? Exhibit A. The thing is, I'm not sure if I can keep on working as hard as I have been, and I might lose this side character that is right in front of me. But if I can just gamble on this one opportunity and keep on grinding, then I have the chance to get an even greater reward than the one that was offered up to me at first. Oh. For those of you that may not understand what was wrong about that clip, I get it. It's fine. I didn't see anything wrong with the clip either at the time of making it. The video is about delayed gratification and the benefits of picking the long-term rewards over the short-term rewards, with terraforming Mars being a metaphor for long-term rewards and fixing Earth's climate issues being a metaphor for short-term rewards. An awful metaphor now that I think about it, but I was really into Elon Musk at the time and I just really wanted to make a video about space. Anyways, in that section of the video, I implicitly refer to women as rewards and express my desire to work harder to get access to better options. Well, this is clearly objectifying and I sincerely apologize for saying that, but why did I think it was okay to say it in the first place? This is not an excuse, by the way. Growing up as a guy, I was often told that if I worked hard and succeeded, that women would just be attracted to me. Whether it be Peter Parker entering into a boxing match to get money for a car so that he could impress Mary Jane, or that senior student that I went to for relationship advice telling me to get my money up first, like it wouldn't matter that I can't hold a conversation with a girl just because I'm rich. Like women are some sort of consequence of success or a trophy for being a good boy to capitalism. There are various avenues where these ideas get instilled into us and we start to internalize them and think of them as common truth. And it doesn't just lead to us objectifying women, it also affects the way we communicate with them, because at every given point in time, we are not being ourselves, but rather we are performing. Because if you're already thinking of her as a reward, then it only makes sense that you want to play your best cards forward and put on your best performance so you don't lose. Because if girls are things that successful guys have, then doesn't that mean that not having any means that you are failing? This is a very harmful way to think, not just because you always have some level of anxiety when talking to girls, but because it creates a very dangerous relationship dynamic. Because one person sees the other as something that he has to have, not because of who she is as a person, or if she even likes him in the first place, but because of what having her does to his status in regards to how well or how poorly he is performing. But you don't just have to take my word for it. I asked some of my guy friends about some harmful ideas that they had internalized growing up as guys, and this is what they had to say about it.
A general thing for me that guys have learned is that like boys don't cry, that vulnerability thing, which I think is a very important part of like a person's psyche, because if you can't be vulnerable, you can't like express your emotions in a healthy way, it comes out in a negative way. And for me, once you put on like the right Ghibli movie, I'm gone. I'm done for.
So one thing guys need to unlearn is that nobody cares. That's not true, because if you look around, you realize people actually do care. Guys should learn how to stop pressuring themselves. Do your own thing at your own time, your own pace. Stop comparing yourself to other people.
One thing that guys have to learn is that being a man doesn't mean that you have to be aggressive or mad all the time. So I feel like what guys need to unlearn in every interaction with any female or any gender per se, based on how you move, is that it's not all about sex.
And these are just a few harmful ideas that a lot of young boys all over the world have internalized. But there's good news. We can unlearn all of them. The human brain is constantly evolving and we can use that to focus on becoming the best versions of ourselves. I personally look forward to falling in love with someone for who they are as a person and not how being with them makes me look. I'm also not trying to accidentally shove any harmful ideas into my videos, so unlearning is a big priority for me. First of all, you guys have no idea how happy I am right now. I wore this cosplay to Nerdrocks Comic Con last year, and since then, I have legit been waiting for the perfect time to show it in a video. And what better time to dress up as Todoroki than talking about guys written by guys for girls. Shota Todoroki is from the anime My Hero Academia. He's among the main cast of characters and is an integral part of the story. His character gets fleshed out extensively towards the end of the manga, and he ends up becoming one of the best, if not the best character of the whole show in my opinion. However, in the earlier parts of the show, and to some extent even till now, Todoroki Shoto fell victim to an anime trope that I like to call the Sasuke ripoff. Sasuke Uchiha is one of the most recognizable characters in all of anime, which makes sense, because he's from one of the most popular anime ever made. I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't actually watched Naruto. I've seen a few episodes here and there, but never from start to finish. However, my other brother is a huge fan of the show and was a big help in getting me to understand Sasuke's character and giving me a general idea of why he is the way he is. Sasuke's elder brother murdered the entire clan when they were really young, leaving Sasuke deeply scarred and alone. And for a huge chunk of the show, up until the big reveal, Sasuke's only mission was to kill his elder brother and avenge his clan. This made Sasuke very edgy and very emotionally withdrawn from everyone else in the story. Another important fact about Sasuke was that he was a pretty boy. Despite the show being named Naruto, and despite the popular belief that the protagonist of the show always ends up with the girl that he's chasing, Naruto spent a huge chunk of the show chasing a girl that is deeply infatuated with Sasuke, a girl that Sasuke didn't mind murdering. Also, when I said Sasuke was emotionally withdrawn from other characters, I meant it. He would abandon characters that were nothing but good to him. This girl would have given her life to save Sasuke, and a lot of times that's kind of what she did. And how did Sasuke return the favor? Left her for dead. Scratch that. He tried to kill her too. It was almost as if, regardless of how Sasuke treated the characters, they were just written to like him. Kinda reminds me of another character I know. Todoroki is also a traumatized kid, owing to the fact that his father was insanely abusive to his entire family. And just like Sasuke, he's a pretty boy. Todoroki is also very edgy and emotionally withdrawn from other characters. He's cold and he treats his classmates like shit in the earlier episodes, but this doesn't really affect how they see him. A lot like Yuno from Black Clover, who is also cold and emotionally withdrawn, yet still has admirers left and right. In short, these are the kind of characters that incels look at and be like, damn, if only I were more handsome, or if only Kohi Horikoshi drew me better. Incel is a short form of involuntary celibate and refers to members of an online subculture based around the inability to find a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one, a state they describe as inceldom. Incels believe that they have been cast aside by evolution because the stereotypically beautiful women, the Stacys, always go for the chats, the stereotypically beautiful men. And they believe that they do not have a chance of getting a relationship because their physical traits do not align with what is stereotypically desired. Incels will often describe themselves as being black-pilled. Different from the red pill that focuses on self-improvement and a bit of misogyny, the black pill involves you giving up and accepting the fact that Mother Nature has played a cosmic joke on you. In summary, incels believe that because of their looks, they will never get laid and life will always be lonely and terrible. Now, taking another look at characters like Sasuke, Todoroki, or Yuno that constantly have girls drooling over them regardless of their actions, it's easy to see how an incel may think the chads have it easy or they don't even need to try hard. But they forget that this is fiction and the perfect guy does not exist. In reality, love is a very active thing, and expecting to just fold your arms and have someone passively fall in love with you because of how handsome you are or because of how rich you are is the perfect definition of delulu. Like, that's delusional. Even Barney Stinson had to be creative and try his best to manipulate women. He's not an ideal role model either, but at least with him, the writers were honest about how love doesn't just fall on your lap. There is no easy way to appeal to somebody. There is no perfect book of rules or guidelines. There is only the amount of effort you put in and how willing you are to learn and understand somebody else. Remember when you were in primary school and a war started brewing between the boys versus the girls? Ever wonder why that experience is so similar for everybody? I remember at the time, my teachers used to tell us students to stay away from relationships because they were dangerous and would harm us in more ways than just academically. Yet every time we asked them why, it was always some generic answer or you'll understand when you're older. The culture around this subject was and still is very taboo in Nigerian schools and honestly could use a lot of improvement. Because if children don't feel comfortable talking and learning about this in school, where else do they go? The internet. The very dangerous internet.
This one is to Nigerian parents and adults in general. Your kids and other kids will always be curious. Like, shutting them down is the worst thing to do, unless you want to raise a zombie. So, appreciate curiosity. Kids will ask questions and give them answers. You can't just tell them, oh, raise your right hand, and not tell them why. Like, that's not how society works. They have to know why they're doing shit. So, yeah, that's it.
You don't understand women. You don't know what we are, you don't know how we feel, and you don't know what we think.
How do you treat them? How do you do this?
And finally, the best way to make videos for girls is to be a girl.
Nope. The best way to make videos for girls is to just make generally good videos. To check whatever biases you may have that may prevent you from doing that. And lastly, to understand that there's no perfect way to do it. There's no cheat trick you can just use to make any girl like your videos. They just have to be good videos. So the next time you're wondering, how do I make a video for girls, or how do I text a girl, why not try asking just, how do I make a video? Because at the end of the day, she's a person, and so am I. And much like myself, she has fears, she has hobbies, she has dreams of what she wants to become, and all of that good stuff. You don't have to change your personality whenever you interact with a different gender. You can just be yourself and learn from whatever happens afterwards. Flying out. This video is dedicated to my amazing cousin, Ori. When she first came, or when she first started living with us, my only prior experience with girls my age had been my female friends in secondary school or primary school. And I think I've mentioned this before in a previous video, but I come from a house of 5 boys and 0 girls, so I've never had any experience with a sister. And she was coming from a background that was similar, you know, because our houses, she comes from a house of four girls and 1 little boy, so she had never had an experience with having a brother my age, so we were off to a turbulent start, to say the least. But I got inspired thinking about, you know, our experiences starting off as mortal enemies and now becoming best friends, and I felt really moved to make this video and tell this story. So I just wanted to dedicate this video to her, since, you know, she's kind of the reason why this video is possible in the first place. And I wanted to thank you guys for watching as well. And yeah, you know, I had a good time making this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I'll see you guys next time.